gone back to dead places, and you know how we did a bunch of those malls in St. Louis? Well, we say goodbye to the St. Louis expedition for now, and we started a new expedition, the Mid-Missouri Expedition, with many malls and many malls you probably never even heard of. But we'll be going to Colombia, we'll be going to Jefferson City, the Lake of the Ozarks, and just stuff like that. So stay tuned for that whole expedition, but we cap off the St. Louis expedition. So let's go. In 1965, the small 60s mall Parkdale Plaza would open their doors, being a two-story small mall. There's not much to tell about Parkdale Plaza, besides it was just a small 60s mall. As the 70s began, a new mall was needed, and Parkdale Plaza was so 60s, so a new mall would need to join our little story. Biscayne Mall, or Biscayne Mall, or whatever you want to call it, would be built by Hanson Development Company. Approximately 270,000 square feet would be encapsulated in a 70s paradise. There would be a Woolco and a Montgomery Ward, both being names I have not talked about yet. And if you didn't know, Woolco was Woolworth's idea of a big department store. If you don't know what Montgomery Ward is, you should probably check the description to check it out. The one-story mall would flourish until the mid-'80s. In 1983, Woolco would, due to bankruptcy, would close, and a Walmart would open. If you were wondering, Woolco in Canada would close as the final nail in the coffin in 1994. Woolco would be sold to Zellers, a Canadian brand. A cinema in Kroger would be built before Woolco went. This is when Colombia Mall comes into play. Colombia Mall would first be thought of by Iowan-based General Growth Properties. The mall would start construction in '84 and would finish in '95. For some reason, this mall would be built just across the street from Biscay Mall. I don't know why. In 1990, the struggling Biscay Mall would be sold to the Colombian-based Kronek Group. Walmart had considering adding on to it and making a supercenter, but would abandon plans. The mall's decline intensified as in '97, Montgomery wards would close. In 2002, a 2-level famous bar would open in the old wards area of the mall. The mall was on borrowed time. Just after a famous bar opened up, the mall would close and be demolished, marking the end for Biscay Mall. Now in 2007, it and Parkdale Plaza were the only malls left in Colombia. Biscay Mall would lose the battle, but they had also hurt Parkdale. Parkdale now being more of a school and drywall. As you're walking into this mall, you may notice, hey, Shades 99. Why are you here? This mall isn't dead. What do you mean? Well, that's true. True story right there. But I was on my trip to Kansas City, and I decided to stop by this mall. Same as another mall that I mentioned in this video. It's gonna be posted next week. Anyway, I just was coming back here, and this is the only mall on the way, so you're lucky you get to see this mall. There's seriously no videos on Colombia Mall in Missouri. Anyway, also these stores look like a downtown area. There would also be many pictures of the mall being taken in black and white for some reason. I really wish they didn't do that so I could actually see the colors, but in the 80s, in the early days, or more of the 90s, somebody took pictures of people in the mall. I'll put them up right now, but they were just like people sitting or eating or doing stuff, and it still looks the same even though they had a renovation in 2004. But hey, let's get to that pretty soon. anchors would be Sears, Dillard's, JCPenney, and a Target. Now, this Target, I'm pretty sure was original. It was there in 2008, so I'm pretty sure it's original, and that means if it's original, it had the green neons in it. Now, the only problem is, I didn't know Targets used to be like that. I didn't know Targets used to be like that, so I didn't go inside. I would've. Hear me out. I didn't know, I'm sorry. You can't see the green neons lining the walls. But maybe if I go back to Kansas City, I just might be able to go into that Target. Anyway, new track coming. If you haven't already, watch the oldest view by Can Pixels. It might be the best analog horror out there in the world. He's the same guy that made the Backrooms, which I find pretty cool. Alright, watch it. Please, after this video, watch it. In 2004, the mall would go through a renovation. I think this would kind of remove the 90s aesthetics and bring in more of the modern. I would rather have 80s aesthetics you saw earlier, the cafe court. I wish they kept that, but they didn't. And the renovation happened. Nerd emoji pillow? I need to buy this right now. I need to buy this. I'm going back to Colombia Mall right now. Come on, let's go pack our bags. We're getting out of here. In 2016, a junior anchor, MC Sports, would close and it would be left abandoned for a couple years. Also, I'm doing this on the road while driving to Colombia to get my nerd emoji pillow. My nerd emoji pillow. I'm driving there right now. In 2018, the Sears would close and would be abandoned for a couple years. And in 2020, a arcade called Level Up would open in the former MC Sports. Also, in 2021, Dillard's would open their men's store in the old Sears, which still has an abandoned auto center. I'm pretty sure it still has that, but also, I almost arrived to get my nerd emoji pillow from Colombia. As we go through the Dillards, I have now arrived at Colombia Mall and am searching for the nerd emoji pillow. I just bought the nerd emoji pillow. Anyway, see you in the next one, guys. Which, you know, I already mentioned this mall in the video, but let's see if you can guess it. See ya.